and welcome to day 7 of my 10 tips to countdown to training. And today we're moving on, and today in 10 tips to countdown to training, I'm going to give you some tips all about how to foam roll to help you with your recovery. So it's nearly time for us to start training for our marathons, and us runners, we love to run, and we're always just thinking about running, and we're never really too focused about recovery. We love to talk about planning our runs and talking about how the runs went when we get back from our running. But very often we're not thinking about other things around our running that are really, really important for us, that will help us become better runners. And one thing that we can do to help us become better runners is think about our recovery more, to make sure that we are getting our bodies back into tip-top condition after we've been doing all that hard work when we've been out running. And one of the things that we can do after we've been running is to help our bodies to recover is to foam roll. Foam rolling is a great way. It's like a self-massage, and it's great for easing out your tired muscles. So do you foam roll regularly? Drop me a comment. Have you got used to foam rolling? Is it a key part of your training? Is it a habit that you've got into as you were training for your races earlier on this year? So watch this little video, because I'm going to be going through a few little reasons why you need to be foam rolling regularly in your week, and why that is essential for your marathon training to really help you run well and, fingers crossed, avoid niggles and injuries this summer. So do you foam roll? And were you foam rolling this spring? And if you were, what parts of your body did you foam roll? And really, did it help? I know I've got this bad boy, and I have found foam rolling really, really helps, especially when my legs are feeling quite tight, tired, stressed. It's even helped me the last few weeks through lockdown, when I've had really, really stressy legs from feeling not stressed. But anyhow, using a foam roller, it's a really great way to ease your tired muscles and your tired legs when you're training. So what you need to be doing is to invest in a foam roller, something like this. I've had this foam roller for a couple of years now, and I really recommend that you get one for your marathon training and get into the habit of using it regularly. So all you need to be doing is to foam roll a muscle just for about 30 to 60 seconds. Really can help it improve its range of motion. And what actually happens when you foam roll, you're not breaking down scar tissue and lengthening your muscles when you're foam rolling. What you're actually doing, you're helping the muscle just relax a little bit, and by the rolling action signals to the brain that it's okay to relax. So it's a great way, foam rolling is a great way of easing out tense and tired muscles. So it's a fabulous thing to be doing maybe the day after a long run, or one of those really hard runs in your training program, where you end up with feeling like stiff tired muscles, maybe a little bit of aches and pains. Foam rolling can really help. And I really recommend that you invest in a foam roller and get into the habit of foam rolling at least once a week, or any time that your legs are feeling tired and tight, and they really need to be loosened up a little bit. And right now, seeing as we are still in sort of lockdown and just really sort of coming out of lockdown, we can't go and see physios and have a sports massage or anything like that. And it's probably going to be like that for a good few weeks, maybe not a good few months. So foam rolling would be the next best thing to give your body a little bit of love, a little bit of care and attention as we get into harder training over the next few weeks. It's really easy to forget to foam roll. If your foam roller is stuck up in in an attic or in a room that you don't use very regularly, I put my foam roller in front of the television. And so it's kind of staring at me every time I sort of sit down. And I've got to get into the habit when I'm marathon training of, if I sit down in front of the television, the foam roller looks at me and I can jump off the sofa and give myself a little bit of a foam roll. So I got into the habit of foam rolling for a few minutes instead of slouching on the sofa watching the TV. And that's really helped me remember to foam roll, and it's just really become part of a routine that I've got. So I also get asked, what sort of foam rollers should you buy? If you go on to Amazon or any other sports website, there are hundreds of foam rollers on the market. There are gentle foam rollers, which are just smooth, and then you've got sort of knobbly ones. This isn't the hardest knobbly one. It's actually the knobbles on here are actually quite soft. So it looks worse than it actually is. But if you're just starting out, I do recommend you get yourself a gentler roller. This one's fine. I don't find that this is hard on my legs, but there are some which are really quite harsh, and the knobbles are quite painful on your legs. But if you're hardcore, then be my guest. Go and buy yourself some sort of torture device, killer machine. So this one's it is mine, it's got some knobbly bits, but it's also you'll also find some smooth rollers. But I've tried the smooth foam rollers, and I don't find them as good to get into the right types of spots that I'm looking for. The other thing you might want to try and find yourself is a tennis ball or another hard small ball. I've got a tennis ball here. No, I haven't. So a tennis ball, it's more hardcore, and it's really, really good. If you've got a particular sensitive patch, and you've got a really, really tight patch in your body, and the foam roller really can't get into that specific area, then you might want to use a tennis ball. I've got a little bit of soreness in my glutes over the weekend, so I gave myself some foam rolling on the glutes, but that didn't really hit the spot. So I got my tennis ball in there to really get going. So all I was doing was I was kind of sitting on the ball and rolling it around where the sensitivity was. Okay, so I will find using balls, tennis balls, cricket balls, those sorts of things, they're quite hardcore, but they're good if that's what your muscles actually need. So what happens when you foam roll? So when you start out, you'll probably find you've got a few knots, and you've probably got a few tight spots, and you've probably got a few areas. So what I suggest you do is work gently and use your body weight to release those knots and tight spots. And what you need to be doing is kind of rolling just backwards and forwards gently, easing into those tight spots, okay? And what you will find is your body will respond, and it will start to loosen up. And foam rolling, it's kind of like a little bit of self-massage. So you can use it to loosen up your muscles a little bit before you run or after your training. So it's a great way of helping your muscles, your body really, really to relax. You just need to use your own body weight to apply the right amount of pressure for you. People say to me, do I foam roll both legs at the same time or one leg? If you're foam rolling just one leg at a time, then you can really work on the muscles on that leg. And I find if I'm foam rolling both legs, say both hamstrings, it's adding less pressure. But it really is to you work with your body and your body's tightness, and apply the right amount of pressure for you. And all you need to do is to roll backwards and forwards slowly over the muscle that you're working for about 20 to 30 seconds for each muscle, really. And don't forget that you've got 2 legs, so you just don't just work on the right one. Remember, you've got the next one. And it doesn't really take up much time, because you probably only need about 3 to 5 rolls over each muscle. So, you know, within 5 minutes, you're done really with your foam rolling. And what you need to be doing when you foam roll is just to ease gently into those tight spots. You will find a few tight spots, but just go gently and focus in on them, as if you were sort of massaging them out, to slowly release that tension. So I hope that's given you some ideas about foam rolling. I do recommend for your training that you do invest in a foam roller. They're not expensive, and it will really, really help you loosen up the tight muscles that you do get when you're training quite hefty. So we're almost about to get to that point where we're going to be starting training for our autumn races. I know there's a lot of uncertainty about whether or not races, marathons, London is going to go ahead, but I'm kicking off my training, kicking it off in earnest, in anticipation that I want to get trained, ready and prepared to run my autumn races. And I know quite a few of you have had a little bit of time out over the last few months and a bit worried about restarting your training. If that's you, then next Monday, I'm starting a free 7-day training kickstart. And we're starting on Monday, that's the 1st of June. What I'm doing in the 7-day free coaching series is I'm going to help you get back into your running. It's going to be a bit of a boot camp. It's going to be a kickstart to your training. And over 7 days, I'm going to be giving you some running workouts to do and some conditioning workouts to do. Plus, each evening, I'm going to be going live with a coaching call, so with tips to help you get started with your training. So we're going to be giving you different types of runs to be doing. We're going to be trying things like speed work. We're going to be trying hill runs, and I'm going to help you, give you some tips and advice about getting your long runs right, to make sure we're running them at the right pace to give you the maximum benefit for your training. And alongside the running, we're going to be doing some conditioning work as well. So if you've had time out over the last few months, lockdown, you've been running a bit but not really focused on doing very much and definitely not training, and you're determined this summer you are going to get back on it and start with some motivated, focused training, then make sure that you come and join us for the 7-day Summer Training KickStart. We're starting next Monday, the 1st of June, and to come and join us, all you need to do is click the link below this video or above this video to save your spot. Okay, and I hope to see you in our Summer Training Kickstart. If not, I will see you again tomorrow for another one of my 10 tips for training. Take care, and I shall see you soon.